All right, Cooper's got the guitar. I've got the Shop Traveler. Today we're going to give you all the details on this one-of-a-kind Alamo exclusive Fender Custom Shop Jazzmaster. Stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store, link below for custom swag. Check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional. Buy stuff from us, Come in, hang out with us, give us money, feed us. All those things are cool. You rub Cooper's shoulders when he gets stressed out.
Seymour. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of my favorite musical movies.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
Would you take that one or Rocky Horror?
Tough. I really like Steve Martin's character in Little Shop of Horrors.
But what about Susan Sarandon? Am I right?
All right, so going back in time, we'll do the time warp again.
Let's do the time warp again.
It
all works out.
We're going to do nice segue. We're going to take you back to 1962. That's what we've done here. It is a Alamo exclusive spec 1962 Jazzmaster. It is in very cool faded sonic blue color. Mm-hmm. It's got cool features that are like the features you want to kind of tweak. But for the most part, it's a classic Jazzmaster. It's not all beat to heck. This has traveled unscathed from 1962.
It's the time capsule.
Into our hands today.
Yeah. This is, first of all, Jazzmaster is the best guitar. I think in terms of electric guitars, that's a fact we all agree on.
I really want one right now.
A Jazzmaster is unbeatable unless, of course, you may have a Tele. I'm a Tele guy. I play Telecasters most of the time, but every time I pull the Jazzmaster out for a gig with my band, I'm always excited and very happy about it. It's a great feeling guitar, totally different feeling guitar, and this is what I think is a pretty perfect Jazzmaster. Got the faded sonic blue. Now, it is... it's an NOS, but It's got the time capsule finish, which is the no buff flash coat. So you can see the orange peel, which I think is very cool. And it does have, just that kind of nice, kind of faded out, but not relict look, and I dig it.
Yeah, what's really great about this guitar is if you want to relic it yourself, just play it.
It'll be easy.
It's gonna do what a vintage guitar will do, and it's also going to resonate. And a lot of people will talk about when it comes to finish, there's a preference from a feel standpoint and a wear standpoint, but also just kind of what it does for the instrument as a whole. And if you can, you want to go. I mean, old school is flash coat nitrocellulose finish, which is what we got here.
Yep. So, the 4-ply tortoiseshell, which I dig. These are hand-wound Jazzmaster pickups. This is normal switching, so you got volume and tone, 3-way switch. You also got rhythm circuit, which turns that off, and you're working with the rollers. And I think these pickups, it's nice. It should be like this, but there's very distinct voices on these, and then the rhythm circuit got a nice warm kind of feel to it. That's the best part.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
RSD bridge.
The RSD bridge. If I could buy one of those, I would, and I'd put it on my Jazzmaster.
But you can't.
You cannot. But I love the RSD bridge, only available in the custom shop on a guitar, not separately. But you got the brass saddle compensated RSD. Very cool. Roasted maple neck.
Riffs on.
Oh, if it ain't riffs on, you know what I always say. I'll let y'all finish that one, And then vintage style tuners and vintage locking tuners.
Yeah, I like these because people that haven't approached these, I've talked about it sometimes where people bought guitars and were doing string changes and didn't know, and they're kind of weird. They have a cam system, that kind of comes in and locks or unlocks the string. And so the way it works is you kind of pull and hold the string and start the tuner, and the cam will come in place, and then it'll grab it and lock it, and kind of the same in reverse. They used to do these. I don't know if you've ever played one of these guitars, but in the mid-2000s, they had the American Vintage Hot Rod series. Those are very, very cool, and they had these tuners. So not only are they locking and they still look vintage, but they also have that graduated height like they do on the American guitar since the standards for a long, long time. And that increases your breakover angle on the nut. So they look the part, and then they've got some upgraded benefits, which are nice.
I just dig it. I think it's very, very cool, and it's nice and light, which my Jazzmaster is not.
Do they have the weight on here? Are they cool like that?
They cool like that?
I don't think so. What would you give it at? We can figure it out.
14, 15?
14, 15 pounds, nice and light. Do you even lift, bro?
Hell yeah.
You know, one of the things I love about Jazzmasters is, you know, historically, they didn't really hit, you know, but they were an upgrade from the Stratocaster by design. And there's a lot of things that you have. Do you use the tremolo on your Jazzmaster much?
Yeah.
What I've loved about the tremolo on the Jazzmaster, it's a different setup on the Jazz and Jag from a Strat style tremolo. You can lock it and drop D the thing, and then you can go back to tuning and unlock it, which is a very cool feature. And I like the behind the bridge stuff that you can get. When we were at FERC, there was a band which is -123, I think is the name of them. They're a Czech band. So shout out to these guys. It's a trio, and they are phenomenal. And I was watching the lead singer and guitar player with, it looked like a 60s era Jag. Yeah. And he was making great use of that behind the bridge usage of the strings. So very, very cool. Yeah. This is one of the nicest examples of a 60s Jag that I've seen, far better than what's typically executed like through the American vintage line. Yeah. And if you had a vintage guitar, it's got probably the changes you'd make on it. So, and I'm sure it sounds awesome.
Sounds really cool. Check it out.
All right, I've got the guitar. Cooper's got the stuff, so I'm going to pick his brain a little bit on this. So clay dot.
Clay dot, you got to go clay
Upgraded
dot.
rosewood slab board.
That is,
Round lamb?
that's like a overweight baby sheep. Round lamb.
Round lamb. And what was the neck shape on this? Is it 62?
So, yeah, it's the 62, get that back in there. 62 Jazzmaster neck shape, 7.25 inch radius because we're in the time capsule. But it's just like a nice.
Well, the action's nice and low, and you can. I mean, not having any fretting out.
Yeah, no, you're feeling.
I always think people like blow that out of proportion.
They do.
So
the good part is the tremolo arm. The tip is parchment.
Just the tip?
Just the tip is parchment.
Is this a bone nut?
Oh, that's bone nut.
I dig. You know what? I just noticed that. That's kind of cool. That the skunk stripe.
Yes, the reverse
is a light contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it.
And you got the truss rod adjustment up at the top, which is just a nice thing to have.
Yeah. Well, it's just a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a killer guitar. I love the tort and the blue. And
I just think that is the kind of guitar that when I was a young child, I would go
when you were
online.
a young warthog?
When I was a young warthog, I would go online and spec out a guitar like that and be like, I would love to play something like that. And now it's here, and I am just in love with the way Jazzmasters, you get the jingle jangle, but you get the thickness, you get the warmth, you can really go all over the tonal spectrum.
Yeah.
You can get the Elvis Costello, like real bright, bridge pickup. You can get the Chris Stapleton neck pickup, like just real clean with reverb. There's a lot of really great tones to be had in that guitar.
I like what the brass does. Brass is softer, and so it kind of tamps down some of the highest end frequencies. That's why I like it on a telly.
Yeah.
Because a telly, that bridge pickup can tend to be like a little too aggressive, and it just knocks down the high end just a little bit. And then, of course, there's nothing jumping out, moving around, getting all funky on here with this bridge. So good.
Who's your favorite Jazzmaster player?
Probably Chris Stapleton. So the concert, did you stay for the whole concert? I know you came at the tail end.
I wasn't there the whole time, I'll tell you that.
No, I know you, but did you stay for the entirety of the end?
I left in the second to last song.
Oh, man. Okay, so the way he ended that concert, they came out, it was an encore for Outlaw State of Mind. And when they ended that, it was like this real big raucous kind of, together, ending. And then, he ends the concert by basically taking off his white Jazzmaster, laying it on the floor in front of his amp and hitting it so that it rings, and he walks off and just let it feed back. And I was just like in heaven. My wife looked at me with a giant grin on my face. I'm like, yes. Can we do that one more time, please?
One more time.
Once again. So, yeah, great. So, yeah, right now I would say he is probably my favorite Jazzmaster artist. And I've said this before, shocked that we have not seen a Chris Stapleton signature model Jazzmaster from Fender.
They just need to make one to match the amp.
Seriously,
that'd be awesome.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Do you not like money?
Anyways. I would love a Stapleton signature, but bringing back the Costello signature, that is such a cool guitar.
I'm also a fan of the Troy Van Leeuwen and the Oxblood. That's a cool color. It's a cool guitar. Also 7 1/4 on that one. So I think this is the combination. This is cool, man.
I love that guitar. We got one. It's special.
It's exclusive, and it's one-off.
One-off.
No mas.
No mas, but you can see some very pretty photography of it on our website. You can read all the specs. If you want a photo of the Traveler to get nitty-gritty, we will send that to you. And come play it if you're able to, because it'll put a smile on your face.
It's just a Traveler on its own.
Yeah. Shove that flyer back in the leather-bound bag thing.
Anyways, if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. Check this out on our website, and we will see you next time with more cool guitars.